It's a great story. Thank you for sharing that one.
You're welcome.
Question number 5, Scott. Do you have any grief or teasing did you get any grief or teasing from your straight friends on your support of the LGBT community? If so, how do you handle that?
I would say now, now that I've been involved in the LGBT community a lot longer, that they're it's kind of like they're being exposed to it through me, and so they're becoming, less and less. I wouldn't say that, my friends were never really homophobic. It's just so new to them, and they're more conservative than I am. So it was they didn't really know how to handle it. I remember actually one time, I was doing real estate, and the guy that I worked for was gay, and one of his other coworkers were gay, and we all were going to go out to dinner at the Texas Roadhouse, and I asked my friend if he wanted to come with me. And he goes, are you going with people from your real estate place? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, I don't know. And not because he's against gays, just he doesn't know how to act, or react, it's just something that they're not exposed to. And so, me being totally open to the ideas, and me having lots of gay friends, and me, living in New York, and them starting to come visit me in New York and be more exposed to that community, they trust me, and they look up to me, and they see me as their close friend. And if these community is something that I believe in, and equality is something that I believe in, and it's just helped them to kind of accept it, a lot easier, because I guess they have someone. I guess I explaining, they have someone who's close to them that can kind of show them the way. I'm like a light beacon for them, So, in the beginning, I wouldn't say it was negative, but it was just such a level of non-understanding that kind of pushed them away. But now that they saw me on the show, and they saw me with Caitlin, and they saw all these things, now they're whatever. They don't really care either. It's just it's people to them. So in the beginning, yeah, kinda. Now, not really.
So
not
basically, the lack of exposure that they have.
Yeah, exactly. It's just something
it's
new.
Healthy that they're seeing you, and the exposure that you do have with the gay community, and how comfortable you are, makes them accept it a lot better and more readily.
Yeah, and that's the whole point of doing the No Hate campaign, is just to get it out there. Because if it's out there, like I said, about a year and a half ago, I didn't even know being transgender was possible. Okay, and clearly I was totally out of the loop with that. And it's just exposure, being exposed to these things.
All right. Well, question number 6 from David is: as a gay blogger and LGBT activist, I personally cherish our straight allies and know that we need people like you in our fight for equality. How do you see other straight allies like yourself having a positive impact on LGBT equality?
Actually, I would say that my answer to my last question kind of evolves into the answer for this question. And other straight allies who are out there doing things and out there inspiring people, and bringing more people into their own community to bring out awareness for whatever they're doing. If this is something they support, their followers are going to support that as well. And even small things like I teach fitness on YouTube, okay, and when I post my videos, I do my videos in a pair of shorts. I have about a 90% male fan base. It doesn't mean 90% of my fan base is gay. It means that 90% is male. And out of those males, there is a large following of gay males as well. And so on YouTube, you have a username, okay? And when I post videos, people leave comments, and comments range from people saying, great workout, they think I'm attractive, and then, people being jerks as well, obviously going to be on there. But what's great is when I see a username, I don't know if you're male, I don't know if you're female, I don't know if you're gay, I don't know if you're straight, I don't know anything about you, because a username can be like table 123. Okay, I'm at a table, that's why I said that. You don't know. And so if someone leaves a comment like, wow man, great physique, you look good, awesome, great body, hot body, and they say dirtier things too, but we won't say that on camera. My response is always, thank you, I appreciate the support, thank you for the compliments, thank you for this, thank you for that, or sometimes I'll play into the joke if they leave something kind of funny. And my whole thing in my head is there may not be a million comments on the videos. It doesn't mean people aren't scrolling down to read the comments after they watch the video. And if people are reading the comments and they're seeing how accepting I am to any of the comments that are made revolving around, like looking good in my sexuality, it's going to make them think, wow, Scott's a great guy. He teaches fitness. I like watching his videos. Oh, and look, and he seems to be very accepting of his fans, whether they're gay, straight, male, or female, and he just responds to everyone the same way. Maybe we should be like that too. And it's funny too. Like some people, and it's funny to me, a lot of straight males will leave a comment like, "Man, like your abs looks like no homo or anything, but your abs look great, and you're in really great shape." And my response, and I hate that term, no homo, like that there's no need to say no homo before complimenting a male if you're straight, okay? And I usually respond with totally homo in quotations, thank you, you know what I mean? Because I just think it's funny. But, the whole point of me doing that is to kind of poke fun at the fact, like, listen, I'm a straight guy, okay? I can see another male who's in great shape, I can admire their physique and say, listen, you do a great job, you look amazing, like, keep up the good work. Like, I don't have to say no homo before I say that. I'll just say, hey, you look great, keep it up. And whether they're gay or straight, they'll say thank you, Like, you need to just be able to be accepting, and I think that with other straight allies, just showing the acceptance is what's going to help make a difference.
Awesome. Before we go any further, Scott, I just want you to know the battery thing here is low on your camera.
Oh, okay. I think we'll be good.
Okay. Just wanted you to
So
know.
if it shuts off...
If it shuts off, we'll just boot it up again, all right? Our seventh question, Scott, is: have you ever kissed another man, or as an actor, would you be able to kiss another man?
I have not kissed another man. It actually brings up a funny story. This happened a couple weeks ago. I was doing an appearance at a place called Shy Lounge, and it's a gay club. And this guy was talking to me, and he was asking me the same question. He goes, have you ever kissed another man? And I was like, no. And he was like, would you ever kiss another man? I was like, no. He said, would you kiss me? I was like, no. Like, I would not do these things. And he's like, why? He's like, why are you at a gay club? I'm like, well, I'm here because I want to meet, I have a large gay fan base. I want to meet them, And he's like, okay. He's like, so why don't you kiss me? I was like, listen, I'm going to explain this to you as easy as I can. When you see another male, okay, and this male happens to be attractive, you might get an erection. And your phone's ringing. When I see another male who may be on the attractive side, I'll compliment him, but nothing's going on. However, and I guess you see that Italian girl over there? Good to go. And he just kind of laughed, and got my point across. And yeah, I mean, I've never kissed another man, obviously, but as far as an actor goes, if I had to do a role where it called for me to kiss another man, there'd be no problem with that. And it doesn't mean that I'm gay. It doesn't mean anything. Lots of actors have played gay roles. It's just, if I was in a movie playing a serial killer and I cut people's heads off and like their pinky toes and that was my call sign, doesn't mean I'm going to do that in real life. It's not Scott Herman being the killer. It's the killer being the killer in what I'm acting, okay? And it's not Scott Herman kissing another man if I'm acting. It's the actor kissing, So, yeah, I mean, I definitely could. I haven't before, and it's all part of the job, right?
I agree. I'm sorry about the phone.
And we put cell phones on. I'm like, cell phones have to be on vibrate. Totally. I haven't heard a house phone. I thought they weren't even in existence anymore.
I'm old school. All right. Question number 8. You're answering these questions really beautifully. I just love your answers. I think they're just so sincere. It's amazing. Number 8 question, Scott, is: you recently mentioned in one of your Facebook posts about an indie film you recently saw that tackled topics surrounding gay equality called The Sensei that moved you. Can you tell us more about this movie and why it moved you?
Yeah, I was really, really lucky to see this indie movie. It was actually made by, I always say her last name wrong, Diana Inosanto. She's really cool. She's a really nice lady. Her godfather was Bruce Lee, and she's really into martial arts, and her husband Ron's really into martial arts. And so the movie was kind of like a martial arts movie, and it was about this young man who, it starts off showing a picture of him and his best friend, and his best friend was murdered for being gay. And then, the kid kept trying to check into this martial arts school to learn how to defend himself, because the movie takes place like 1985, 1986, and so he's getting picked on and harassed at school. He wants to be able to protect himself. And then he ends up getting, like, brutally beaten by 3 of the bullies in school and put in the hospital. And then the main character, who's actually played by Diane, happens to come home, and, she's a woman, obviously, and, women in the Japanese culture, like she wasn't given her black belt because she was a woman. Like, there's a whole other kind of aspect that talks about the martial arts side, but what ends up happening is she starts to train him in secret, and he gets picked on in school again, and he ends up beating up the bully, and then the bully's brother ends up going after him, and then she tries to protect him, and they both get kind of beat up a little bit, and they're both bleeding, and she freaks out because of seeing his blood everywhere, and like he's all pissed off, like, all of a sudden now you don't be friends with me, and then she explains to him that she happens to have AIDS, and she got it from her husband, who was a boxer, because in 1980s they think that if you have AIDS, it's a gay disease. So, like, the husband couldn't even be buried properly. Like, she was having a hard time finding a place to bury him. And it's something that I didn't know. Like, if you died of AIDS, like, they wouldn't even bury you in certain burial homes because they thought it was gay and it was a sin, And so it covers that topic. And there's so many times, like, when the kid's getting brutally beaten, he's getting beaten in the locker room, in the bathroom at school, like, you just want to jump through the screen and just, like, punch all these kids and try and protect, the poor kid getting picked on. So that's why the movie was very moving, because it dealt with being gay, it dealt with equality, it dealt with AIDS, and it dealt with it all in a time where it totally wasn't really accepted, which is why the kid couldn't train in the karate school, because it would put a damper on their business in the community. So it's definitely a very, very moving movie. And it kind of brings up another point, like, the reason why this movie is an indie film, okay, is because we're not at the point where we have gay equality. And, okay, like, I don't know if you know this, but 90, maybe even more, okay, 90% of the people entertaining you, directors, actors, photographers, like, now that I've been in this community or into this new industry, 90% of these people are all gay, okay? And I find it hard to believe that the person directing movies can't direct a movie about gay equality, because if they do and they try and put it on in movie theaters, there are so many towns across the United States that will not play the movie. Why? Because they're not willing to put that on the screen and subject their town to gay equality or anything having to deal with gays. And so it's a really good point to make. Like, these movies that deal with gay equality are indie films because they can't put them on the big screen because they won't get accepted everywhere, because we're not at the point where we accept gays for who they are. And so that's another reason why, like, the movie is so moving, and the movie was done so beautifully that I'll post a link in the sidebar so you guys can see the trailer for it. But that's why the movie was moving, just because it dealt with all these issues, and it brings up the other point that you can't make an actual movie about something like this because it won't be accepted, and it won't be played. But I can relate to the movie. Like, when I was a kid, okay, like, the reason why I got into fitness, and this kind of goes full circle, like, you never really know the reasons why you were exposed to certain things. But when I was a kid, like, I was 12 years old, like, I was picked on every single day, by my brother and his friends, and, like, my best friend was the quiet kid everyone thought was cool. Like, there's that one kid that's so quiet that everyone just thinks he's cool because he's quiet. Like, that was my best friend. And so we would sit together on the school bus, and I would get picked on by my older brother because he'd always picked on me. So then his friends would pick on me, and then kids my age would pick on me to look cool in front of the older kids. Then the girls my age would pick on me on the school bus, so they would look cool to the older guys because the older guys were cute. And this whole circle of just me getting, victimized and picked on. I hated the school bus. Like, the kids would, like, roll up cardboard and, like, beat me with it when I was getting off the school bus. Like, I would play football with them, and they'd invite me to play, and instead of playing, they'd just kind of hold my arms like this and kick me in the chest and back, like, fun stuff like that. And so, like, when I see people getting victimized, and this kind of maybe goes back to even in high school, seeing the kids getting picked on, whether they were gay or just getting picked on for any reason, like, I didn't know. But from at a young age, I did not like getting picked on myself, and that kind of got me into working out, got me into the gym. And even after, I started getting into the gym and started to work out, 12 years old, I went to Sears and bought a bench. I was using at my dad's house. We had a bench in the basement. Now I use that one. And don't get me wrong, me and my brother are very close Okay, but he was a jerk, and he'll even admit to you that if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be into fitness. And he's right when he says that. We're obviously very close now. When you're kids, you fight over dumb stuff. But like, I would be benching and holding the bar, and he'd like come down and like make fart noises in my face to try and get me to drop the bar on my head. Like, he just constantly picked on me. And then he told all his friends that I was working out, and then all his friends started picking on me, like, "Ooh, you're gonna get big and strong and beat us up and all this other stuff." And it's like, yeah, I am. I'm gonna get huge and I kick your butt. Then when I turned 14 years old, I got a job at Gold's Gym, and I started meeting, obviously older people, and they kind of took me under their wing, and they showed me how to work out. And who goes to the gym during the day? Successful business people. And so I kind of like, from talking to them, learned to be a better person. Obviously my family was involved as well, but at that point in time, the gym became a place where I enjoyed going to have fun. And instead of working out because I was angry, I was working out because I enjoyed it. But subconsciously, I was, getting the negative energy out of my body from, being picked on in school. Because even in school, like, I was very quiet up until, like, I would say my, like, sophomore year of college. I just kind of kept to myself. And so, like, you don't really know why you do certain things. Like, at that point in my life, I thought I needed to go to the gym and work out and do all these things because I was getting picked on and I was getting victimized and all these, and I didn't understand why. Like, why was I like getting picked on? Why was I being victimized? Like, I was a good kid. I never did anything wrong. And like, I would talk to my dad about it, and my dad would just be like, just be yourself and don't really get too upset about it, and they'll grow up and learn. And so I did. But now, where I am at this point in my life, and people say, why are you fighting for gay rights? Why not like women's rights? Or why not this? Or why not that? Well, through my life, over the last couple of years, I've gained a lot of gay friends, and being in the entertainment business, I've been exposed to a larger portion of the gay community, okay? And they're basically fighting and being treated like I can relate to it, okay? They're being victimized, they're being beaten, they're being ostracized, like I said, why would you want to be a part of a community that he's constantly getting picked on, and your human, like, basically, like, parts of human rights taken away? You can't get married, you can't do this, you can't do that, you get looked at weird, you get called names. Like, you wouldn't want to be a part of that, okay? When I was a kid, I didn't want to be picked on. I didn't want to be victimized. And so I can relate to my gay friends. And so I guess kind of to end this question and to wrap it up, is like, you never know why certain things happen or why you're called to do certain things. But for me, like, I see myself now as I'm strong mentally, I'm strong physically, I can speak out for my gay friends, I can protect them if I have to, and hopefully I can be a beacon for other people where if they need support, they know they can contact me. I get contacted on Facebook all the time. I had a kid contact me, he wrote me a whole page about how he was afraid that he was going to go to hell because he was gay, and he was trying to be straight. He goes, I don't know what to do. He's like, I'm gay, I try to love girls, I can't, I love men. He goes, I don't understand why, I'm going to go to hell just because, I love a man. I thought we were just supposed to love in general, and I wrote back to him, and I was like, listen, don't worry about that. As long as you're a good person and you love as you're supposed to love and you do good things, you'll go to where you're supposed to go. Like, you'll go to heaven. Like, don't let someone tell you this is how it is, okay? You're supposed to do two things. You're supposed to constantly acquire knowledge, and you're supposed to love others, just love yourself. As long as you do those things, you're a good person. You'll have a good life, And to me, it's funny to me because I'm just me, Like, I'm just a guy. Like, I'm just a regular guy, and people write to me, and when I give them advice, like, they're so happy to hear it. And like I said, to me, I'm just a person. But if I can be a beacon, or if I can support, or if you can take my strength and make it your own, then that's what I want to do, and that's why I'm here, and that's why I support No Hate.
Well, Scott, as a gay man, I'm going to say that I appreciate your support of the gay community, because as a gay person, yes, we can fight for ourselves, and it's wonderful that we all can rally together as a community and try to get the laws changed and get the human rights and equality that we so richly deserve. But when we have allies like yourself who have some celebrity status and can use that status in order to bring these issues to the forefront, so that other straight people in the community, in the straight community, learn to accept and say, like, the sky's not falling because gay marriage is legal in Massachusetts or wherever. Like, nothing bad is happening. It's just normal. Like, two people loving each other and having an ally in the straight community to integrate with the gay community just makes it all like so inspirational to hear your viewpoints on all of this, and I hope that your viewers will as well. Thanks.
And David, I want to thank you for reaching out to me to ask me these questions. So it's this video is going to be on Wicked Gay Blog, which is David's gay blog site, and I'll be happy to answer any more questions you might have. So thanks for reaching out, and thanks for taping, Cliff.
You're welcome.
See you later, guys.